that's really impressive. Just that, like, you've created this,
Yeah.
right? This is why you're the best. This is why you're the leader. Like, no bullshit. Like, this is really, really, really cool. Hey guys, I'm Juliana, your automotive woman. Welcome to this episode of Cars Without Sausage. Recently, I connected with Jim Leo, founder and CEO of PitFit in Indianapolis. Jim is a human performance motorsport coach who has led the industry for over 25 years. Jim has had a helping hand in steering the physical development of multiple IndyCar, Indy 500, NASCAR, Daytona 500, and Formula One drivers, race winners, and champions. Jim has built PitFit into an international brand, which has inspired countless others to duplicate his leadership. Ahead of this year's Indy 500, I asked Jim to put me through one of his Indy 500 preparation training courses, and he obliged. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I strongly encourage you to watch my YouTube channel to see what it takes to prepare for one of motorsports' most challenging races, and you'll be able to see some of the training tools Jim is currently developing. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and thank you for listening or watching on YouTube. So, Jim, you've been a human performance motorsport coach now for over 25 years. You've led and trained a lot of big names. One of my favorites, Scott Dixon, who was actually just in here on a Sunday training for the upcoming Indy 500. That's mega. But before you do actually train me, just take me back to the beginning. How did you start PitFit training and grow it to an international brand that it is now?
It really was just something that came out of, I have to thank Roger Penske as kind of the driving force behind where we are now. And I worked for him at a corporate wellness program in Detroit, Michigan, and had the idea to work with his IndyCar team, to develop a conditioning training program for the IndyCar team that was based out of Reading, Pennsylvania. And Roger felt that it was a good idea and would give him a leg up at the competition. This was back in the end of 1993. And so we started this, and then we created a program. I created a program for Penske Racing at their shop in Reading, designed a gym, would go there from Detroit, a lot of flying back and forth. And really at that time, I didn't have a grasp of the exact things to do because there wasn't really anything to go off of. This is well before the internet. There wasn't a lot of reference points especially for what I was trying to do. So it really, the thing started with the pit crew. That's what started. And I, was blessed to have some amazing people at Penske Racing that I'm still friends with to this day, and I see at the racetrack, educating me on how to do pit stops and the intricacies of it, and setting up a station for me where they would set up a station, and I set a timer, and they have an air gun, and the first time I did it, I changed tires. I just set a timer for 30 minutes, and I did tires. Boom, back and forth, gun for 30 minutes, just get it down. And I figured this would teach me where the muscles and where I had to work. And the next day, I knew exactly, wow, okay, this is exactly where I'm feeling this. But, I put in as much as I could to that program because anything you do with Roger and Penske Racing, it has to be top notch. So a lot of pressure. But like I said, I was blessed to have great people with that organization to help me along the way. So
you mentioned the internet. When I was coming through karting and making the transition to cars, I'd heard of PitFit training. But of course, I was in Canada, traveling all over the world, and you guys were in Indy. Mm-hmm. And for me, from looking out and in, I was like, wow, these are the guys that I truly think could help me make the step up. And you don't just do the training. And for me, I was having a lot of challenges with nutrition and food. Right. And now you've grown from just being a trainer to psychology experts. You have physio, trackside, and the nutrition. So out of everything that you do now, what do you think, besides the training still, people are now requesting with more help with?
It's really difficult to say. Obviously, our market it ranges from young karting drivers all the way to 60, 70-year-old gentlemen drivers, and their needs are very, very different. So it's, for the most part, we get a request of, I want to get into a training program to make me better in the car, or I need to lose weight, And then from there, as part of the program, in the interview process, we'll find out, okay, well, what are you doing for nutrition? Okay, what are you doing for mental training? Have you ever been to a sports vision doctor? Like, we'll kind of ask all these questions, and then they'll think about it and say, well, I've never really done this. I never really thought about this. And one of the things I learned from a quote from Steve Jobs years ago is, the customer doesn't know what they want sometimes. You have to kind of tell them what they want. And then once you explain to them that this is an option, then it hits them like, oh, I didn't know that. So, the request to go to the track and do trackside support, that'll come out of we're working with a driver and they're going to do an endurance event, so they're worried about something. So then the team will say, do you do this? Yes. And so it's really like with any business, you have to pivot and roll and move to this. And sometimes what you think you're going to do becomes secondary to what you actually do. And so really we have just been around for so long that we've seen the highs and the lows of this sport and the changes that go with it. But again, being able to be innovative and, I have zero fear of failure. So I will try something just to try it. And I think as an entrepreneur, if you have this fear of losing or not doing well or looking bad to someone, you're going to fail. You have to be bold and you make a lot of mistakes. It's like riding a roller coaster. I mean, you're going to have some really great highs, some really big lows, but again, it's a process. And you do it long enough, and pretty soon, the lows that you encounter along the way, they deflect off of you. You've been there before. So, for us, it's going out there and introducing new concepts to teams and new drivers, and then those conversations usually lead to maybe another direction we go with them.
Yeah, you say so many things well. How often are you changing your program? Like today, you're going to be getting me race ready for the Indy 500. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, you do NASCAR, you do Formula One drivers, Karters, as you said. So how often are you changing your program to make sure you're up to date?
Our program we have a system in place that it's kind of evolved actually quite a bit just in the last couple of years, even better. And it's constantly getting better. So when we look at, for example, the neurocognitive aspect of our program, instead of, finding out ways that work with equipment and what we're testing, we have an expert on our team that knows way more than we ever will. That's all he thinks about. So he brings that to the program. So now we have an aspect that I don't think anyone else has. We're above everybody else again. And, you're constantly trying to find new ways to do things. Yes, there's, when it comes to training, there's only so much you can do. Yeah. It really is. Like, okay, you lift weights. You work on getting stronger and your cardiovascular system and mobility and all of these things. Okay, but that's not the end of it. Then you start integrating how do we combine certain things into this, and how does it apply to what the race car driver, the client, goes through. And that's, I think, what's allowed us to be at the top of this industry for so long is this very focused approach to auto racing versus it being, we work with a few drivers, but then we also have this tennis player and this basketball player and all this over here. We just wake up every day and think about racing. Yeah. And I think that's allowed us to really stay focused.
When someone walks through the door or online now, you guys are mega online. Mm-hmm. And you have your Karters, you have your gentleman drivers, mm-hmm. you have your NASCAR, your IndyCar, your F1 guys. Who presents you with the biggest challenge when they come through? Like, who has the biggest ego as well, saying, oh, this is going to be easy for me, I got this? So who is actually the hardest to train?
I would say probably a challenging population we have can be that gentleman driver, especially a gentleman driver who has a whole team already to run their life, and we're just part of it. And they expect, it's great because they're demanding on us, but sometimes, we have to kind of tone them down and say, we're not your personal assistant. You can't call us at 5 in the morning. We're not going to respond to you. And I think that's my staff. I have to take care of them as well and their mental health, because if we left that unchecked, we'd be European clients. I mean, I'm sorry, we can't be up at 1 in the morning having video chats with you. That's why we've kind of recruited some trainers over there that can handle that. But that population can probably be the most challenging, and it's the drivers that come in that, I wouldn't say that they're entitled, but they haven't had to really work hard for anything, and they come in and they don't take the program seriously. We've dropped programs or drivers from our program because it's not worth our time and energy. You're not trying to be arrogant, but we don't need your money.
Yeah.
So, our biggest advertisement is our drivers, our success, and their attitudes. And so if they're not going to take this program serious and work hard on it, then we can find someone else to do it.
That's funny. You mentioned those drivers that are basically spoon-fed, right? Recently on the podcast, I had Tony Scott from Drive Motorsports International, and he was speaking about these parents that think their kids should just get everything, and their kid at the same time thinks they should get everything. They don't want to put in the work, and it's like, you know what? We don't need your money, right? We're on a different level now. If you're not willing to put in the work, I'm like, it's not going to work for you. So that said, do you have a success story that you are most proud of?
I mean, it's hard not to just say Scott Dixon. Yeah. Like that, everyone equates Scott Dixon to PitFit, and he's been with us since 1999. But he is a great example of someone who came from really nothing and was good and struggled and made his way and just stayed focused. And once he saw the value of what this could do for his performance, he just continues he was here today on a Sunday, training really hard, and he's as fit as any driver. Those are success stories I really enjoy. I think a most recent one, I love drivers who come from nothing. That to me warms my heart, because I just love them. Rinus Veekay is a great example of a kid I just adore. He, had nothing, won the championship, whatever the controversy is with him not getting the prize money to go to IndyCar, still trained with us. I don't ever do deals with drivers. I did with him. I said, look, last year I said, we're going to keep you in our program. I am not going to charge you, because he had no money. And not like I don't have money so I can't fly first class. Like no money whatsoever. He trained with us. He stayed dedicated. He went through so much turmoil. We prepared him. He got in the car at Shank for Nashville. I mean, it's emotional even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Then he gets the call up, drives for Ganassi. He's getting paid now, and he's like, that to me is, I love that story. Yeah. There's lots of stories like that. Yeah. Kids who've just come from nothing and worked their way up. But there's also kids that have come from a lot of money who have the same dedication and focus, and you wouldn't even know that they're well off. And so I think it's drivers with character. That to me is something that I really enjoy working with.
Yeah, the underdog.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
I love the underdogs too. AJ Allmendinger, I grew up karting
with him,
and this is a guy that came from literally nothing and had to fight for everything. So I recently just saw him at the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was mega. It's like, dude, you're
just
here.
Scrappy. Like, just a scrappy prize fighter, just, pounding and just keeps coming forward. And I love that. I love that in anybody.
So as much as I would love to continue to keep bombarding you with questions, to delay the fact that you're going to kick my ass today.
That's right.
How about we just, we hit the circuit and we'll get me race ready for the 500.
Let's do it.
Awesome. So Jim, you're getting me race ready for Indy 500. What am I going to do?
So this is a circuit that we would, this is an abbreviated version of it, but this is similar to what a circuit we may do. We have probably 20 of these. This is all very upper body specific from a muscular endurance standpoint. You're going to ski for 200 meters on the ski ergometer. Okay. Then you'll do the upper body air bike, but you'll just do the arms. A road flex, which is another upper body specific movement. Upper body ergometer, and then you'll go back to the ski. Then there'll be a 5-minute break. During that 5 minutes, instead of just resting, you'll have to do some sort of active recovery. We'll either use a synaptic sensory station, do some reaction training, the race trainer, which is another reaction drill that's racing specific. We may do some neck work. We may use the reflection and do some more neurocognitive training. So there's always something in between, and then you start all over again. The idea behind this is to do multiple sets, time each set, and maintain your scoring here and track your progress here.
Okay, so doing all of this, has anybody ever been sick before? I know it's a shortened version. Just being kind.
Just the beginners.
Okay.
Just the beginners.
Great, awesome. Looking forward to it. Let's go. So Jim, I've actually tried a ski machine once before. It was a long time ago, and for me, it's like a row machine, right? Similar type of feel, but again, you're training me Indy 500. Tell me about the features and benefits of it.
I mean, the Concept 2 ski ergometer is kind of one of our bread and butter devices. Tremendous movement from a cardiovascular standpoint. Very upper body specific. The legs are definitely being used. A lot of lat activation, a lot of core activation, and it can be very explosive. So, this is, again, one of our preferred movements we use with drivers for muscular endurance. You're driving down. Good. Keep the vision down. The harder you pull, the lower that number is going to be. Drive.
Number?
Keep going. Lower. Come on. 230. Come on. You can do better than that. There you go. Good. There you go. Good. That's good. Nice work. Heart rate's going up. Good. Oh, yeah.
And you feel it everywhere. You got it in your legs, your
Massive core activation.
I haven't done this in so long.
Good work. You're looking good. Good progress. Good job. In between the circuits, you're going to do 5 minutes of recovery, but we do active recovery. One of the things we may have the driver do is some sort of neurocognitive training. This is a synaptic sensory station. We're going to do a drill here that is an inhibition drill. You're going to have yellow lights and red dots on the screen. You hit the yellow, you don't hit the red, and they move very fast. If you don't get to them, they'll disappear.
Okay.
All right? Here we go.
Okay, any tricks?
Stay close. When you hit one, then you will hear the noise. If you don't, then you missed it. Miss. There you go. Good. The eyes have to move and the hands have to move. It's very challenging when the body's fatigued.
Oh, Jesus. How am I doing?
I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, you're probably about a 3.
Come on, Jim. Just because you're kicking my ass out on the floor, man.
I think for a beginner, you're doing just fine.
Round two.
So there you go. Hey. So the harder ones you can see are going to be the peripheral vision. You're getting the ones that are in your central vision right in front of you. It's the peripheral vision you're having trouble. Yes. For the drivers, they have to have that peripheral vision to be able to see outside of here. Yes. And that's just something it's trainable. You can train anything. The eyes are no different than the muscles and the heart and everything. So, your score was 9. The last person who did this got a 30.
So pretty terrible. So just in my defense, though, Mr. Jim, I'm not wearing my glasses. Right?
That's what I thought. I wondered about that.
It's worth 6/10. I've proved it. Okay, so I have to give your guys a break. All right, so whatever.
You were definitely a race car driver because there's always an excuse or it's somebody else's fault.
Exactly.
All right, so Juliana, we just finished with the ski erg, and that is much more of an up and down movement, lat activation, core. Then we moved to the Echo bike, upper body only. So this is one of your popular fan bikes. Now you're having to stabilize the core from moving, which is going to help with lateral core strengthening. Again, more upper body, but this is more linear. So you're going to get more push-pull, like you would say with a chest press or with a rowing movement. So the goal here is to continue, again, to activate much more upper body muscular endurance than lower body.
Okay, and when you're training, whether it's the IndyCar guys or even NASCAR, like, usually I see online like this. Is this right, or?
Well, the objective is to go as fast as you can. So these circuits are set up as a time circuit. So you have to work harder and harder, and the harder you push, the more resistance you get from the fan. That's the whole idea behind it.
Yeah, no kidding.
So it is tough, but you know, this is what we do with the Indy 500 drivers.
Okay, so do you think you have me not using the pedals, and is that on purpose to make it harder?
That is simply to emphasize the muscular, upper body muscular endurance aspect of it. If we were to put in the feet, then it would become a lower body and upper body, but that's not the goal here.
Yeah,
that's why it's so hard.
Yeah, well, yeah, very hard. Thanks a lot. So Jim, when I first walked into your facility, I saw this machine. I've never seen it before. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, because there's nothing like it in the world. This is a machine that we designed recently. It's an iteration of another race trainer device. And the idea behind this is to simulate some of the resistance the drivers go through in the car, enhance reaction drills with not just the upper body, but the lower body. But then we also have now built in the neck. So when you turn the wheel one direction, the neck will push the same as you would in the car in G-loads. Okay. So it's kind of a combination of multiple things. So the left foot will activate this light, the right foot will activate this light, and then the steering system will activate these lights right here. Okay. And all of that time you're turning, you're trying to keep your neck as stable as possible.
Okay, and I feel like the throttle and what would be the brake are very stiff, very tight.
It's all about strength.
Okay.
Yeah, very much so. Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Good. Turn. Try not to turn the wheel when the feet are activated. There you go. There you go.
This is fantastic.
And we can speed this up, slow this down.
Oh. Jim, I think I'm better at this one than I was at the screen. Right?
Yeah. Good. Good. Turn. Good. Fast. Fast. It's not triggering. Good.
And you developed this.
Yeah.
That's really, really impressive.
Yeah. Something we built.
Oh.
Come on. Almost there. Almost there.
But just working the feet and then the hands, and it really is, you get used to the reaction.
Good. 60 seconds. Nice job. Nice job.
I was way better at
and
this.
So the neck is activated in here. You're completely strapped in with a 5-point harness. So this is just similar to being in the race car. Now it's a gaming seat. It's not the actual race seat, but this is a prototype that we've developed that we'll put in production. And then we have the MPI as our steering wheel, and we can switch out the steering wheel to be a stock car wheel, sports car wheel. The wheel just comes off just like that. So we can put whatever wheel you have, whatever you want. That's what we can do.
Okay, that's really impressive. Just that, like, you've created this.
Yeah.
Right? This is why you're the best. This is why you're the leader. Like, no bullshit. Like, this is really, really, really cool. And just to provide some clarity for anybody listening or watching, this is very much a prototype. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing the future.
It's coming. It's coming.
Very, very cool. Okay, I'm going to keep asking questions about it just so I can take my time getting back to the circuit. No, let's do it.
So, Juliana, the next exercise is going to be on the rope flex. This is a very upper body specific movement. The harder you pull, the faster you go. And again, this is much more linear, pulling. This is.
Should I be sitting still or?
Well, no. I mean, you're rotating. You're using the core to activate the upper body muscles, pulling movements for this. So again, this is, this is what the drivers have to do for long periods of time. Just keep pulling. There's no end in sight, but you're about halfway there. Come on. It's tough. Come on.
But this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is so awesome.
Great movement. Great movement. Almost there. You hear a big ding when it's done.
Really?
Come on, you got about 20 feet to go.
Yeah, we cheat.
Come on. If you stop, it's going to go backwards. How's that?
No.
You don't want to go backwards. Come on. Keep going. Almost there. Come on. There. Nice job.
I love the encouragement.
All right, so this next drill we're going to do is a PitFit favorite. And we love table tennis. So we're using a robotic ping pong machine to hit ping pong balls to you. But to enhance that and make it more challenging, we're using the synaptic strobe glasses. The strobe glasses are visual disruption glasses. So they flash. So you see the light, you see the object, then you don't see it. You see it, then you don't see it. And this just makes the eyes more efficient at focusing. It is challenging, but I think you can do it. So you ready?
Well, I used to be really good at ping pong, so I think I can do
All right.
it, so hopefully.
Here they come.
Oh, wow, that was really cool.
You ready?
It's very much flashing.
So you have to pick up on it. It takes a while to get used to it.
Well, I don't know. I hit all of them, Jim.
You're hitting them all to the left. You're hitting them all to the left, so you're a little delayed.
Oh. How about I actually hit the other side? But to my defense, though, I've hit all of them, I feel like.
Right. They're coming right at you, which is good. And we can change the strobes so that the strobes flash slower. Right now it's at the fastest setting. But we'll use these with the drivers to kind of work on their visual skills.
Yeah.
And this way, by enhancing the ability for the eyes to pick things up faster, they pick them up faster on the track as well.
Yeah.
So once they can visually see an object and they can process what to do with it next, that's a skill that can be enhanced.
This is really, really cool.
And so now we'll pause it, take the glasses off, and now do it again, and you'll see how easy this is.
Are you the first one out of the gate? I know.
See, so now you're hitting, before with those glasses on, literally everything you hit, you were late on, hitting it over here. Now you're on track. You're hitting things right down the middle.
This is amazing.
So this, you've already gotten better. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
One lesson.
But you know what? Now not wearing the glasses either, it takes a second for your eyes to adjust.
There you go.
I'm killing it.
All pro. So now we've moved from the road flex to the upper body ergometer. This is a very upper body specific machine. Used a lot in rehab, but we can adjust the tension on this. And you'll do this for a period of time. Again, very upper body specific, very muscular endurance based, activating the core, not a lot of lower body work, which we'll do with the strength training. This is that muscular endurance we're trying to achieve with all of our Indy 500 drivers. So it's just grind and grind, grind and grind.
Oh.
Good, good, good. Keep going, keep going, keep moving.
Oh, yeah.
You're at about a moderate level of tension on this. We can ramp this up substantially.
This is moderate?
Good work. Keep going. Keep going. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
We'll go to 0.25. Keep going. Come on. 3/10. 3/10. 2/10. Keep going. Push. Push. Push.
Wow.
Good. Good. And done. Good. Good job.
Really? That was moderate?
That was moderate.
Come on. Oh my God. The Indy guys, how far do you make them go?
They will go a mile. And they'll do it quickly.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, they'll do that entire circuit, more of everything, in around 11 minutes over the course of a workout. So it's for time. It's intense.
This is impressive. So Jim, I've seen this iron neck used a lot by race car drivers. Do you have all the same equipment at your other facility in North Carolina?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, you have the same. It's a little smaller, but you have the same equipment at our facility down there. The synaptic sensory station, the ski ergs. I mean, it's basically a carbon copy of what we have here. So we try to make sure that the drivers can go between facilities and get the same, still follow their program.
Yeah. Okay. And again, same thing. Completely focus on motorsport performance.
Yeah. And different series. We have drivers in various series down there and here, and each series, the training regime they follow is a little bit different than others. So it's not just a cookie cutter template program for everybody. It's really designed around what they race.
Okay, excellent. Okay, walk me through it. What are we?
So the iron neck is a device that, at the very least, you can do rotational force. So what I want you to do is I'm going to pull forward a little bit, and I want you to turn your chin left, right, left, right. You can go as fast as you want. So you're getting here rotational strengthening of the neck because there's resistance on this. There you go. So do you feel that?
Oh, Yes.
Yeah. So rotation. Okay, you can stop. So rotational neck training is very challenging. It's hard to do that. So Iron Neck created this product years ago. We've been partners with them forever. They've kind of pioneered this concept. So that's one way of doing it. Then another way we can do it is going to be you just stay right where you are, static, and I will simulate the multi-directional G loads that are on the neck when they go in a race car. So it isn't just frontal, lateral, it's side to side. So I'll just keep going, keep it neutral. And what I'm going to add in here are perturbations, which are just vibrations. So being in a race car, you got vibrations. People think that it's just a simple little, drive down the highway. It's not. So, you feel that?
Oh, yes, sir.
Good. Yeah. So that simulates what they go through in the race car, and you're getting the G loads. The neck is getting trained all the way around 360 degrees. So that's the beauty of this Iron Neck device. It's just it's something that it's hard to replicate that same kind of training with anything else.
Yeah, there's a reason why so many race car drivers use this.
Oh yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah, this is the best of the best.
Oh yeah, and how many G's are they pulling in the IndyCar?
It depends on the track. They'll go up to 5 or 6 G's at certain points, certain corners of certain tracks. In Indy 500, it's really not as high G load. Maybe they're hitting 2 G's or so around the track. The difference is that Indy 500 is 3 hours of that. So when you get repetitive G loads over time, that causes fatigue in the body in a great way. So one way to counter some of that G load that you're getting is through training. And there's certain ways of training you can do to help combat the G loads.
Okay, so you just put me through maybe 30 seconds of this Iron Neck training. How long do you actually train your athletes with this on?
This will be incorporated into part of the routine. So it could be an accessory movement that's done between sets. It could be done at the beginning. It could be at the end. But we'll commonly have a driver doing 20 minutes or so of neck training 4 times a week, and they're just different directions. Some multi-direction, some anterior, some posterior. It just depends on what the call for the day is.
Yeah, impressive equipment.
Yeah, very impressive.
Okay, I'm over it. Let's do another one.
All right.
So Jim, we're back at the skier, right? And I don't mind because so far everything that I've done is actually the easiest machine. So why do you come back to this?
Well, this is what we finish with, because this is again one of our it's just part of the circuit that we do. They don't always end with this, but we like to end with this machine because it's kind of one of our most popular machines. But again, driving through, and at this point you're a little more fatigued because you've gone through a variety of movements of the upper body. So suddenly this feels a little different than the first time. And trying to maintain the same kind of pace you did in the beginning, it kind of shows you, okay, this is my level of fatigue, or I'm able to maintain the same pace as I did before because I'm that conditioned.
Okay, Scott Dixon. If I was doing his setting, I want to feel his setting. Can you switch it?
Yeah. So it's a little bit harder now. A little more tension. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a lot different.
And he would be at about 145 pace.
Come on.
Yeah.
Don't tell everybody what I'm at.
He'd be at that pace for 2,000 meters as well. So it's.
Come on. Man, this guy's a legend, man. Like, he's the Fernando Alonso of IndyCar. This guy. Okay, I'm over it. Scott Dixon could beat me.
I kind of think he's the Fernando Alonso is the Scott Dixon of IndyCar, of F1, but that's just me.
Awesome. Okay. Breakdown.
All right.
So Jim, first, massive congratulations.
Yeah.
What you've done in the industry, all the innovation, how you continue to be a pioneer. There's a reason why you are the Human Performance Motorsport Coach in the industry. This is mega. Thank you for all your time today. I know you were taking it easy on me, but all that aside, how do people find you?
First of all, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. It's been a long ride, but we still love what we do, and we still keep moving forward and feel like we have a lot more to accomplish in this business. The best thing to do is just to go to our website, pitfit.com. That's the best way to do it, and just reach out to us through there. Our social media, everything is on there, but that's probably the best way to get a hold of us.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Juliana, your automotive woman. Thank you for listening or watching to this week's episode of Cars Without Sausage. If you enjoy unfiltered automotive and motorsport content, consider subscribing. Cars Without Sausage, no egos, no dickheads, just a passion for cars.